What's up guys, this is Cody here, and today I'm going to be showing you the top 25 free jailbreak tweaks for iOS 8.3. I asked you guys in my previous video if you wanted to see a part 2, and you guys gave me an overwhelming, resounding yes by the number of likes on that video. So I really appreciate that. Of course, if you guys want to see more videos just like this, another free tweaks compilation maybe, then definitely hit that like button. But let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a few tweaks to go over. So the first tweak we have here is Activator. Now a lot of you guys already know about Activator, but it actually wasn't working until a couple of days ago with 8.3. If you installed it prior to that, for me anyways, it would crash my device. But you can see that it's actually working completely fine right now. And if you guys don't know what Activator is, what it does is allow you to set up gestures to action. So when you use a gesture, it's going to perform an action. So you can see right here, if I wanted to set up a gesture for to be available anywhere, and then we scroll down here, let's just do like a 3-finger pinch, and then we'll set that 3-finger pinch to compose a tweet. So now at this point, if I did a 3-finger pinch on the springboard, then we're going to be able to compose a tweet, as you can see right there. So boom, that's what Activator does. Probably the most powerful tweak in Cydia, and every single jailbroken device needs to have this tweak. Next up, we have a tweak called LockGlyph. Now, if you guys watched my previous video, this was actually installed on my device and a lot of people were asking about it, but I didn't mention it. And you can see what it is right here. It basically gives you this Touch ID or fingerprint little animation right here. And when you scan your finger, you'll get another little animation. You can see it changing colors. And I think it looks really cool, and you can actually change the color in the LockGlyph settings. So you can see here, you just tap on behavior, make sure that it is enabled. You can also toggle on a few other things like enable lock sound, unlock immediately. You can make it vibrate or shake the fingerprint when you use the wrong finger. Also right here you have appearance, so you can change the idle color and the scanning color. Of course, you can also change the LockGlyph theme right here if you actually have any others installed. Next up, we have a tweak called SafariRefresh. Now this is a very simple tweak, but it's something that I always want to have on my device just because it makes everything a whole lot easier. And what this does is allow you to pull down on the page at the top, and you can see that dial right there, and that's going to allow you to refresh that page, as you can see that loading go across. And that's just a whole lot easier than having to actually hit this, because usually you're scrolling through and then you just want to refresh that page. You also notice that a lot of my animations are a whole lot snappier than usual, and that's due to a tweak called NoSlowAnimations. So if we scroll down here and open that up, there's not a lot to the settings of this tweak. It's very simple. Make sure you toggle it on, and then you can change the speed by swiping to the left or right. Left for faster and right for slower. So if we swipe all the way to the right, you can see it's a whole lot slower, but if we go, let's go to about right here, that's pretty quick. I mean, even if we go all the way to the right, this is actually, there's no animation whatsoever. It just literally opens it up. So you just kind of got to find the sweet spot right there, but NoSlowAnimations, another free tweak to download in Cydia. Here we have an oldie but a goodie, and it's called SwitchSpring. I think this came out in iOS 7, but you can see basically here, if you activate the app switcher and then you swipe up on the home screen, it's going to give you a pop-up. Do you want to restart the springboard? Do you want to quit all the applications, or do you want to cancel? So basically it's just giving you that ability to quickly respring your device or close out all those applications right from the app switcher. Next, we have a tweak called StatusModifier, and you can see what that does. It basically gives you all this useful information right there in the status bar, and you can actually customize this obviously right here within the settings panel. So you can set up your time settings, so you can use popular formats right here, or you can actually set this up by yourself if you know what you're doing. So you see you can have hours, minutes, seconds, day, months, year right there. Also right down here you can toggle on the RAM as well, so you can see that I have 33 megs of free RAM, which isn't a lot of free RAM, but I have a ton of tweaks installed on this device. But as you can tell, I mean, it's very snappy, and I'm not having any issues in terms of lagging or anything like that. You also have your useful switchers down here that you can toggle on or toggle off, just basically whatever you want on there. And then right down here you also have some more options. Once you make any changes, you just need to respring your device, and then they're going to take effect. Next up, we have a simple tweak, but it can be pretty useful in some instances, and that is TapToSnap. So all this tweak does is give you the ability to tap on the screen when you have your camera open in order to take a picture. So it's as simple as that. If you want to check it out, it's free in Cydia. Next is send delay. Now what this tweak does is give you the ability to type in a message, hit send, and then you can actually stop it before it sends. Now you can actually customize the amount of time that it waits before you send this. Now this is going to be useful, you know, when sometimes you actually type something wrong or autocorrect really screws you and you're sending it off and you notice it right before or right after you send it. So you can stop that, and you can actually customize the time for this in the settings. Now keep in mind, these two wallpapers, I'll have these on Twitter, so if you guys want those wallpapers, this is the ones I'm using right now, I'll have them on Twitter for you guys. So now let's take a look at my dock. Right here we have a tweak called Round Dock. Now what that does is round off those corners right there, and that's basically all that does. There's no settings or anything like that. Once you install it, it's gonna round those corners. Now the next thing you're gonna notice is that it's purple, and that's due to a tweak called DockColor. And this is obviously one that you can customize yourself. So if we go up here to DockColor and tap on that, you can see you just enable this, and then you can change your color right here with the RGB sliders. You also have an alpha right down there. You can also change the alpha right here. So you can just test this out, see what colors look good with your background, your theme, and everything like that, and then you can install it. Now, of course, if you're not totally digging the colors on your dock, then you can change this up as well. This is a very, very faint dock right here. There actually is one, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see right here, if we just go into DockShift, there's a ton of different things you can do. You have your toggle to enable it, and then right here is your style. So you can change it from transparent. You have all these options right here that basically give you either a dark milk glass opaque or a milk glass. You see, you can change that up. So again, this tweak is DockShift. Next up, we have a tweak called JellyLock Unify. Now this is actually in beta, but if you guys haven't heard of JellyLock before, it's basically a lock screen tweak that allows you to launch applications directly off that. So you can see it's just a little dot that you can change the size of. You can change these applications obviously, and then you just slide over an application to open it up, just like that. So you can see if we just go back here, it's going to open up very quickly. Now there is a option to surpass the passcode, but that actually doesn't work on 8.3. So if you want to, launch applications seamlessly without having to enter your passcode, then you're actually gonna have to turn off your passcode. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of settings to configure with this tweak. I highly recommend checking it out. Again, this is one that you're going to have to add a repo for, so make sure you check the description for that. Now next up we have a tweak called GroovyLock. Now what GroovyLock does is give you the ability to apply themes to your lock screen, and this is going to be the theme that I'm using. It's called Cataracs. Now this is one of the themes that I was talking about that you needed to add a repo for in my previous video. But what this looks like, as you can see right there, it just looks really nice. Now you're not actually going to get this blur right here right when you install it. You actually have to go into a specific path in order to enable that in iFile. So I'll put that path in the description below for you guys to just follow, and then you can actually configure this however you'd like. But I think it looks really awesome. You'll also notice when I get a notification, which I'm not going to get one right now, but it actually moves up. So it gets out of the way so it doesn't look bad. It's just a really nice theme. Actually, I just got a notification. So you can see what that does right there. So I definitely recommend checking this out. It's a pretty sweet theme. Now the next tweak I want to talk about is called Transition. Now this is not part of the top 25 free tweaks. This is just one that I have installed on my device, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking about it. This is a paid tweak, but it is pretty sweet. You can see you get that sweet little animation right there, and you can also change this up. There's a ton of different animations, but again, I just wanted to kind of mention that just in case you guys wanted to download it. It's called Transition. It's a pretty awesome tweak. Next up, we have a tweak called Spectral. Now what this does is it takes the album artwork of whatever you're playing and it's going to put it blurred out on your lock screen in the background. So it just looks a little bit better than what it normally looks like in iOS 8. Now this isn't as cool as, like color flow or anything like that, but still it gives you that nice look on your lock screen when you're playing music. So you can see what that looks like right there. Next we have time passcode. Now what this tweak does is change your passcode to whatever time it is. So you can see it's 12:54. So if I type in 12:54, you can see that that works. So it's going to change literally every single minute. You just got to know what time it is in order to unlock your device, which shouldn't be too hard because it's right there on the lock screen. Now iCleaner here is another tweak that I definitely recommend having on your device just because it's really easy to clean up a whole lot of unwanted data on your device. So if your storage is getting all used up, maybe you want to download iCleaner, run it on its default settings, and then see how much free space you can clear up. All right, so I went ahead and sped up through this, but you can see that I freed up almost a gig of space just by running this once. So I'm just gonna tap yes, it's gonna respring the device, and then I'll have another gig worth of storage freed up on my device. Next up, we have a tweak called SaveGram. So if you're an Instagram user, which I'm sure all of you are, first of all, you need to be following me on Instagram. But what this tweak does is allow you to save pictures directly from Instagram. So you just tap on these ... you tap on save, and then you'll see when I open up my photos that we have that photo right there. This is the most recent photo, as you can see. So that's all that SaveGram does, allowing you to save those photos directly from the Instagram app. Next up, we have a tweak called Pandora Skips. Now this is a must-have for anybody that has a jailbroken device and uses Pandora. So what it does, obviously, is give you the ability to limitlessly skip through songs. I was just listening to my GF right there, but we can skip through this just like that. And every time that this skip button lights up, you can just continuously skip through all the songs. So if you use Pandora, I definitely recommend checking out Pandora Skips. Next up, we have a tweak called NotNine. So you can see right here, if I go ahead and open up my notes, let's just say that we're actually done here with the notes. You can actually tap on this little paintbrush right here, or a little doodle. It basically gives you the same type of functionality that you get in iOS 9. So we're just gonna tap on show papers. You can actually buy some more if you want to. You can use filtered paper or graph paper. We're just gonna tap on filtered paper, and then you can actually start to draw stuff on here. So if we just typed out, or drew hi, maybe a little smiley face, that's all you gotta do. You tap OK after you tap done, and it's gonna throw it into your note right there. So if you need, for any reason, to be able to doodle in your notes like you kinda can in iOS 9, then definitely check out NotNine. Next up, we have another app switcher tweak called Slide to Kill 8 Lite. Now what this tweak does, you can see right here, instead of actually having to close out of all these applications right here one by one, you can actually do it with Slide to Kill 8 Lite. Now what this does is if you just swipe down on the springboard, and it's actually going to close out all the applications automatically. So if we go ahead and do that, you can see exactly what that does. Closes all out. If you have a ton of applications, it kind of takes a little while right there, so it kind of lagged a little bit, but usually it's pretty quick, and then it just kind of gives you that animation of the springboard coming back to you. Now another thing I want to mention is the theme right here, which is Amore. So this is the theme I was actually using in my previous video as well. You guys just, I guess, didn't check the description, but a lot of people were asking me about this on Twitter. So you guys can download Amore, but again, this is actually a paid version. This is not free. So while even though it is compatible with iOS 8.3, we're gonna have to wait for the developer to say that it's available on 8.3 before you can actually purchase it. Next, we have RoundedSwitcherCards. Now what this does is in your app switcher, it basically just rounds those corners for those switcher cards, as you can see right there. I just think it looks a little bit better. There's actually a tweak that rounds the actual screen right here all the way around, but unfortunately it doesn't work on my 6 Plus. Another message tweak that I use quite often is called ReturnToSender. Now all this does is basically in your messages app, you'll see, and rather than having a return button, it turns it to a send button. So when you want to send something, you just tap send and it's going to send it right off. So that's all that tweak does. And here we have a tweak called TinyBar. Now what TinyBar does is take that notification banner and shrink it to the size of your status bar. So in terms of getting a notification here, let me just go ahead and tweet out something. I'm sure somebody will favorite it or something. Test, tweet, let's get out. And you should see a banner notification right up here at the top at some point once that tweet publishes. All right, so you can see right there that it basically just takes up the space from your status bar right there, and you can see exactly how that works. Now, if it's actually longer than that, then it's gonna scroll through the actual tweet or the notification. So if you get a message from your messages, then you'll see it scrolling across. It actually scrolls through, I think, twice, as you can see right there. It's gonna scroll through just like that. So that's TinyBar in a nutshell, and that's all the tweaks that I have for the top 25 free tweaks part 2 video. So if you guys want to see more free tweak videos just like this, make sure you smash that like button just like you did on my previous one, and I'll be sure to do just that. All right guys, if you want to see more of my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until next time, peace.